If you really want to set up attacks that are hard to defend, take the time to learn these setups for Ascent, Bind, and Haven. The idea is to use your scan to clear specific corners while mollying someone off a common angle and throwing your flash to hit multiple angles to make entry easier. The potential to clear every angle on a site with your utility is extremely possible, and it takes less than 5 seconds to set it up. So, if you want to win an important round, pull one of these plays out. Timestamps for the 3 maps are below. Let's get started. Starting at A main at Ascent, you're going to be standing on the top of this barrel right here. First, your knife using your crosshair. You're going to start right here and land on this height right here. Here, up. This is your knife lineup that's going to land, that's covering the right side of the site around this perimeter right here. On the same spot on top of the barrel on A main, you're going to put your crosshair right over here and quickly toss it. It's going to, well, basically it's going to clear gen and force anybody playing this corner out here or up front. Last is the flash lineup, again on the same spot. Put your crosshair exactly right here, jump and quickly toss, and it's going to explode right around this area, blinding anybody coming away from the molly on these corners, back of sights right here, anybody on the left or the right side of sight, and temporarily blinding anybody on the switch. Since we only temporarily blind the guy on the switch without flash, the second flash is going to go right here on top, lining this up here, and that's going to flash basically on the right side around this area, temporarily blinding anybody on the right side, but anybody again running away from gen will be blinded, and of course anybody switch on this side will also be blinded. It's basically 2 overkill flashes just to make sure that you are able to run into sight and kill anybody that's caught by the blind. Now here's a full execution of this setup, starting with the knife, again cloud all the way up here, toss it. Second is the molly that you're going to throw at this. Next one is the first flash, jump. And then this one is the last flash. That's going to flash the right side of sight. B takes a little bit more timing to set up, but you're going to be starting here at this spawn, starting with your knife. The knife is going to be going right here using the UI of the molly, and you're placing it right here. Throw that, and that's basically going to end on top of the roof, somewhere around this area, scanning this corner of logs and the close switch corner right over here, and anybody playing close on lane. The second that scans it, you know one of these 3 corners are occupied, and your teammate should know to peek those corners. Next one in the same spot right over here is your molly lineup. Find this arrow right here, vertical line, lift it all the way up as high as the antenna right to the right, jump and quickly toss, and well, this molly lineup is for anybody that loves to play stairs. Push them out to sight or push them right into your firing squad right at B main. Last thing is for the lineups. Again, here's how you set up your teammates to push out of sight. Put your crosshair right here, the same height as the box and onto the wall. Move forward, jump, and quickly toss. It's going to go through the window and flash exactly around this area by the switch, flashing anybody in this corner, in this corner, in this corner. And if the molly lands, obviously they're going to try and run both ways, sight or away. If they run this way, they're also going to be blinded, well, being killed by your firing squad. What's left is to take the sight. Same thing, stand in the same corner, put your crosshair right here, move forward, jump, quickly toss. It's going to pounce off this corner and flash right on top of this box right over here. Now that's going to blind anybody playing this corner and anybody that dares to play on site somewhere here. And if they're mollied and they choose to push through sight, again, they will also be blinded as it comes out right here. Timing is everything with this B setup, so make sure to always communicate with your teammate. Let's start with the knife, throw it at our lineup, and then the molly lineup right after. And as soon as that molly is about to land, you need to make sure you throw this and tell your teammates it's go time. Right over here, as soon as your teammates are about to clear the rest of the site by walking through lane, your last lineup is, well, that flash starting right here, jumping quickly toss, let it bounce, and flash right on top of the box right over here. Your A setup attack starts at A short right here, making sure you're lining up so that you don't see the corner of this box. Move back. First thing you're going to throw is obviously your knife using the UI of the molly, kind of touching just the edge of this shadow. Throw it, and well, that's going to land in this corner, basically scanning this, here, and here. Again, come back to your lineup, making sure you line it up with the wall at the edge of the box right here. Using your crosshair, put it at the dot right here, and put it at the top of this tank. All you're going to do now is jump and quickly toss, and that's going to land basically in the cubby area on the back of sight at A. Anybody that chooses to play in this corner will have to move out, peek everybody, and then move back on this basically vulnerable area right over here, or rotate all the way back. This is how you initiate the push onto A site, again starting in the same corner where you line yourself up with this box. Put your crosshair right here, move a little forward, and then quickly toss. That's going to land basically right in front of the site right here, blinding anybody at pocket, anybody holding close to shroud at the bottom, and anybody close hookah at the exit right over here. Or U-Haul. Oops. The last flash you're going to throw is as soon as you pass this corner of stairs right over here on top, put your crosshair right over here, jump and quickly toss, and make sure you tell your teammates so that they don't get flashed. Now here's a real-time execution of that play. Line yourself up here, start with a knife, toss it, now the molly, on our lineup right over here, and as soon as that molly lands at the cubby area by triple, move, quickly jump and toss, everybody else moves out. Now again, as you're coming right here, jump and quickly toss. That's going to flash anybody that's in the back site, and then your teammates can swarm in and clear the whole back side of site. For B side, take B-long control by the TP. Now again, we're going to start with a knife. Put your UI of the molly right here just before or on top of this rectangle. Toss it, and well, that's going to land just right on top of site, scanning basically everybody in tube right over here or on the back of site. Again, in the same corner, now we throw our molly using the UI. First, put it in the middle of the pedal right here, and just toss. That's going to land exactly on cubby, and anybody that plays here is going to be forced to rotate out into the back of site or into tube. Now to initiate this setup, put your crosshair somewhere right here in the middle of the ground, right over here. Run forward, move, jump, and quickly toss. That's going to go and flash basically right in front of site, somewhere right here. Anybody that's in the box, under the hookah, and anybody playing logs area right here will be flashed. As your teammate is clearing the front of site, the second you enter the octagon, put your crosshair right here, jump and quickly toss to help flash the back of site as soon as your teammates basically turn the corner and clear the whole site. Now here's a real-time execution starting with a knife using your molly UI, toss it. Now your actual molly UI using the arrow in the middle of the rows, just toss it, and as soon as this molly lands at cubby, all you're going to do now is jump the first flash, your teammates clear the site, and as soon as you see it, toss to the back side so that your teammates already up front will clear the back side. First, get yourself in this corner of the cement right over here just by jumping at the edge. Now, your first lineup is going to be your knife. Use your UI for the molly, lift it all the way up until you touch the edge of the roof and just toss. This knife is basically going to scan anybody on this corner of this site right here from graffiti to the back of the right side of site and CT. Again on the same spot, now we talk about the molly. Put your crosshair right here, jump and quickly toss. It's pretty self-explanatory. You want to clear out the back site, so you molly it and forcing anybody to go rotate hell, PQ long, go CT, or go graffiti. As soon as that molly lands, again we're in the same spot, put your crosshair right here, jump and toss it, and it's going to explode right over here, right in front of graffiti. That's going to flash anybody in this corner, anybody that's holding this cubby, anybody in this angle, and even anybody at the hell side. Also, anybody that's being molly that's rotating out of the back of site will also be blinded unless they find a smoke to run in at CT. Here's a real-time execution of this play. First the knife, then the molly at this lineup right over here, and as soon as that molly lines up and lands, throw your flash right over here. Your teammates should already be pushing, and you should be communicating to them to push these sites as soon as that flash explodes. B is pretty self-explanatory. It's so small that you can cover any area. Starting with your molly right over here, put your crosshair right here, run, jump, and toss. That's going to basically clear the whole left side of site besides the top of the box and force anybody to run out here or PQ right in the middle. Now, if you didn't know what that lineup was, make sure to check my post-plant molly lineups for Kayo on the top right hand corner of this video. Now after you've thrown that molly, you're going to throw your flash right here, and as soon as you're running forward, just throw it at the right side. It's going to flash anybody on the left side that's rotating on top of the box, anybody that's going to be on top of this box, and anybody holding a weird off angle right on this side. The last thing you do before you enter to this site is basically toss this knife, because you want to know if anybody rotated into the back of site right here or at gong, or they ran away into C-link or A-link. Again, B is a pretty easy site to execute, and here's how it looks like in real time. First the molly, then the flash right on the right side, and before you enter the site, make sure you throw that knife. Last thing we're going to do in this corner right here for C-long, use your molly lineup UI to find the knife lineup for this site. Put it in this space right here. This knife is going to land on this roof, scanning anybody in this corner, and even the back platform cubby on this area. After the knife, we're going to be on the same spot. We're going to use the molly UI to find our molly lineup. First, crosshair right here, and you're going to lift it as high as this mountain. Crosshair here, up here, jump, and quickly toss. The molly lands basically at this corner, and you know, well, this is the most annoying corner. Force anybody that plays here to run back to tunnels or PQ while they're going to log. To initiate this push, well, again on the same corner, now put your crosshair right here, run, jump, and quickly toss. That's going to initiate the push. It's going to flash right on this side, flashing anybody here, anybody in this cubby area, everybody rotating out of the molly here, and if someone's holding log at these angles, they will also be flashed. The last flash that you're going to do is on the go. Before you pass this door, put your crosshair right over here, jump, and quickly toss. That's immediately going to flash anybody on the back side, and if anybody's playing logs hugging this corner, the flash is going to come out here and immediately flash them, clearing everybody in the back side, but anybody holding the platform in this corner will most likely be blocking that angle, so make sure to check this corner. Again, these setups are all about timing, so communicate with your teammates to have the perfect timing to push a site. Let's start with a knife, toss it right here. As soon as that's done, use your UI for the molly, jump and quickly toss, and when this molly lands, make sure you always throw that flash so that it detonates at the same time. Before you even go out the door, quickly jump so you can flash the back sight of sight. If you made it through the end of this video, you probably found this video extremely helpful. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button. Also, if you're looking for more lineups to learn involving Kayo's knife or flash, those will be coming out soon as well. There's a lot more things to learn about this agent. If you want to learn to become a better initiator for your team, come back next time to learn those lineups. For now, you can learn some post-plant molly lineups for Kayo on every map by clicking the video right in front of you. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.